Good morning, everyone. It's not afternoon yet, and it is the first Friday of the month, and time for our Biz Clinic. So welcome everyone joining, Boki, Dan, Debbie, Kopo, Lerato, Pamela, Pilates, some familiar names, High Precious, Tabo, Timba, Tsitsi, welcome everyone. Wendy, great to see you here too. People that are supporting entrepreneurs, some of us, and many of us entrepreneurs or business owners ourselves, coming here to perhaps share a challenge that we face, a challenge or two that we face, or to learn from the challenges that others are facing and the solutions that we can find. I've got in the room Julian Kohao from SEDA, as well as from SEDA, Marcia Ratswana. I'm going to ask guys that you switch on your cameras so everyone can see you too. And as usual, we have the professional business advisors to be with us. We will speak a bit more about where you go to or from and the clients that you're working with otherwise. But just perhaps to quickly present to everyone the concept or the rules that we have in this event, the BizClinicZA. I think this is the third one that we are hosting now. It came about after SEDA, IBASA, and EPI's webinars, CPD webinars that we host for business advisors. A lot of small business owners arrived, and we realized there's a real need to address the questions that business owners face themselves. So we can tackle any topic relating to business challenges here. But there are some rules. We ask that we stay respectful. We're gonna allow you to talk. You can type a question, or you can talk too in explaining it when you get into the room. But to remember that to be prompt, so we don't want to have long explanations of problems. We can delve into them as we go along. But if you can be prompt, and then to remember that we're here to help each other, so we're not pointing fingers to maybe a supplier or a client that we have that disappointed us, or a development agency or support program that we had experienced that we didn't think was up to our expectation. It is about the challenges that we face and how we resolve them. So you will be able to type your question into the Q&A window. So I'm going to ask you now, some of you already have your text chat open, and I see there's some discussion happening. Pamela, Kopo, hello guys. Thanks for Lerato. Thanks for taking the lead there to say good morning. So, but first just open the Q&A window too, because that is where you can put your question. And the sooner you put your question that you want us to discuss there, the better your chance is that we actually address it. We will allow 2 minutes for you to come into the room and explain your question if you wish. Otherwise, we can just read it out from the text chat too. And then the advisors will have a chance to reply. We must remember that our replies here in this forum are based on our knowledge and experience. It's not that we are experts in every field, so we may ask you to send another follow-up or to refer to someone else. And of course, you cannot rely solely on the support or advice that you get here or the tips. You'll have to validate that somewhere else as well, just to make sure that the context in which you operate is taken into account properly, because we are just briefly speaking here, and therefore what we reply on and the advice or tips or guidance that we give is not fully taking cognizance of your full context. So to get the best decisions going, it's always best to be engaging with someone that's within your context too. Okay, so that's kind of just the basic rules and rule sets. I'm going to share with you the email address if there's something that needs to be followed up later on, so you can always, after the event, send us a email as a follow-up. And if there are questions we can't answer, we will ask that you actually send the email there so we can help you in getting an answer to that. It is info@bizclinic.co.za. And then lastly, we've had, in terms of announcements, we've had questions from maybe some of you in the room even, to actually share the promotions on a WhatsApp group. so that it's easy to share in your networks, So we've created this group. If you have your phone with you and you're on your computer, you can quickly do a QR scan. I will also share the link with you just now in the text chat so you can copy it over. But that QR code, you can just scan and it will take you to the WhatsApp group and you can join that group. But I'll also put the link in the text chat just now. Okay, that's all for announcements and so on. We have our colleagues from IBASA and SEDA and EPI in the room. They are the organizers of this event. They told me they don't necessarily want to put on the cameras today, but I do want to acknowledge Bongi Sibi and Bonnie Mukelwa from SEDA, who's been driving, bringing this educational and learning experiences from SEDA side, and Mercy Moletsame from IBASA. I'm from the EPI. Christoph Oosthuizen is my name. And yeah, we're doing our best to bring some value to business owners so that you guys who are running the businesses and making the economy work can get better at your businesses. We hope to the benefit of the community as a whole, but of course also for your own benefit, because you run a business to make a living and create some wealth for yourself too. So that is the spirit that we take things here, is we will do our best in answering questions. And you can participate in questions too through the text chat, if you know of something. We are a community. It's not only reliant on the business advisors. Okay, so I've spoken more than enough now. I see there's no question in the Q&A yet, so we will have a chance to do so. If you can put your questions in there, you may do so. But let's get to Mercia and Julian first. So, Julian, you work with SEDA clients mostly, if you can unmute.
Yes, hi Christopher once again, and hi to everybody in the room. Yes, I do work with SEDA with different types of clients, from your small, medium, and quite large businesses as well.
Okay, and in which areas?
I'm a business advisor in Metsimaholo. With Metsimaholo, I cover Sasolburg, Global Triangle, that's inclusive of Vanderbilt Park, Vereeniging, Everton, Sebokeng, as well as the Fezile Dabi district in entirely.
Okay, and just for everyone in the room to perhaps get to know you a bit better too, in terms of the kind of businesses that you work with, can you perhaps share with us an example of a very interesting or success story that you've had there recently, a client that you could help that shows great progress? Is there something?
Yes, definitely. I think one client that we've worked with, they're into the electronic space. They've developed a tracking device. We've assisted them with, in terms of accreditation with VESCO, for them to be compliant with all the insurance companies. And we've also helped them access funding with our TTF to the value of 600,000 rand. So yeah.
No, great stuff. There are also some that have challenges that are more difficult to solve, but maybe we can bring those discussions we can bring in here too. But let's go to Marcia first. Marcia, so you also with SEDA, a business advisor at SEDA?
Yes, I have been with SEDA since 2016. I work in Nelspruit, Ehlanzeni region, so that covers areas in Ehlanzeni. We also work with quite a lot of clients in the forestry sector at the site. Yeah, so
okay.
Yeah, so maybe
more in the services, forestry services, or what kind of where do the small businesses find their niche in the forestry industry?
Silviculture, harvesting. They work a lot with your SEPIs, SAFCOL. Yeah, so they would have contracts with such forestry giants in various aspects of, enterprise development, division that they offer opportunities to SMEs.
Yeah. That's it. There's an interesting thing there happening, with enterprise development programs and so on, prioritizing smaller suppliers and the opportunities available there. And of course, there's some challenges involved there too. But let's delve into what we can tackle here today. We are 62 people in the room. So amongst our 62, there must be a challenge or a problem or a issue for discussion for us. And I see Nwabisa has broken the ice for us with one point there, one question. But please use the Q&A to put your questions for us to address. And we will do our best from the side, from the panel side, but we are 60 odd people in the room. And we may also be able to help each other. Julian.
Yes, I also just wanted to add as well, while we're discussing the challenges, I think it's also an opportunity for people in the room to also look at other opportunities that will assist or that have gaps in terms of where the economy is currently going and how as entrepreneurs they actually can come up with solutions to those challenges. But that's what we're here for, to have an open discussion and see how we can move entrepreneurship forward and tackle those challenges.
Great, yes, indeed. So we're going to allow Nwabisa to talk so long. But as you get ready, Nwabisa, can we ask, it's always good to know who is in the room, you know, sort of, so we see the names and so on. We can all just make sure that you select, send the chat to everyone. I'm going to ask that everyone in the room just take a moment and to say where you're from, what place you are from, and what your focus area is in the entrepreneurship and business, small business sector. If you are a business owner yourself, what your business is doing. If you're helping entrepreneurs, in what way are you supporting them? Just type in the text chat there, the place that you are from and your involvement as a business owner or supporter of business owners. I myself, I'm an entrepreneurial coach, so I do this kind of thing where I work with groups of people, online, offline, you know, in person or different ways. And as a coach, you know, sort of, so facilitating learning is kind of my job. There's my friend Winston. I see he's also from Cape Town. I'm from Cape Town. And he's also in the support of entrepreneurs. There are quite a few of us that are in the support of entrepreneurs. So we'll be looking to you guys to use the text chat to share your ideas too. You know, we may even bring you in to help us answer a question if necessary. So I hope I say your name right, Kopo Patang from Mogale City. Building and construction. So we've heard about the SEDA business advisors working with different industries, you know, sort of like in the wood industry, in Mpumalanga. Construction is Kopos industry. Consultant is Taka. Yeah, Wendy, hi, nice seeing you here from the Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation at UWC in Cape Town. Benjamin is assisting businesses to secure funding. Oh, I see there's already a question around funding. So Ben, you're going to be participating in that discussion, I hope. Renee, hi Renee. BE, very important, you know, opportunities that are coming through enterprise development from Port Elizabeth. Tsitsi from Joburg, web design agency. Yeah, so different kind of businesses that we have, hey, sort of, but the common thing that it's our businesses. It's we're the owners of the business and running the business and working in the business and fighting the fires. Sometimes firing is involved too. Hopefully more hiring than firing. Yeah, working with our team, serving clients, and isn't that the life of a business owner, you know, sort of to be involved in every aspect of the business, more or less. Temba is providing business solution. Martin is machine manufacturing plant in Olifantsfontein, making machine. Well, that sounds like an interesting business. Manufacturing of machines. I wonder what kind of machines it is. Animation and effects, digital work, Cheryl, Lorato, water and wastewater infrastructure management. Yeah, so providing services in that way. And there's Kagisho is also in construction, another construction business, and Chepo is manufacturing. So quite a whole range of different kinds of businesses. That's quite encouraging to see. Okay, you can keep adding there. If your eye falls on someone there, you know, you can reach out directly to them too. You can actually message them directly there and maybe strike a conversation of on something that you can do collaboratively. We also would like to encourage that. So tax and advisory services, yeah, maybe a service, but it's also a business. Even the coaches and mentors in the room, most of us are running businesses too. So we also have our business challenges. Godwin is from multi-takers. Construction, okay. Cool, a few construction businesses in the room. Secunda, Samuel, manufacturing of protective workwear. Yeah, construction, manufacturing, services, IT, web design, all kinds of different things. Yeah, we're going to have a nice conversation today. Okay, so let's say we've allowed Bisa to talk. So Pamisa, you can unmute yourself, and then you've got a question around funding for us to start off today.
Yes, thank you very much. We manufacture solar solutions for low-income households, and we wanted to find out if SEDA has funding available for the mass production of these items.
Great. So what is it that you need the funding for? Let's start there.
For mass manufacturing, we've done our prototypes, we've tested, and we've done research, and we know that we've got a market, and what is holding us back is the ability to produce enough numbers at the pace that we're receiving demands. We've identified distributing channels that we could collaborate with, that would assist us. And the only thing that we are now in need of is funds to hire out or purchase the manufacturing plant and the materials that is necessary for us to put these items together and start rolling out.
Okay, great. Thanks for that, Mwabisa. Marcia, Julian, any of you want to tackle that?
Yes, Nwabisa, congratulations with entering such a very interesting, I must say, it's a very interesting industry. And for you to be female and be in that industry, for me, it's quite impressive. Now, in terms of what you have asked, as SEDA, we've got a SEDA Technology Transfer Fund, but I would advise you that we sit with you and do a thorough assessment as to what would really be able to help your business to move forward. Because sometimes you look at think that you are at the stage of funding, but through our assessment, we might actually find that there are other interventions that we can look at prior to that. But in an instance where we cannot fund, we do have our sister agencies as well that will be able to put together an application for you on your behalf so that we can assist you to hopefully access the funding that you need.
Yeah, and maybe just to add there as well, you're saying you've done a bit of research in terms of, you know, what is it that you would need. I would say also in terms of the costing of how much it is that you require as a loan or a grant to be able to put together the business and start your operations. It's important so that when we do an assessment, we are able to also establish a relevant funder who will able to cater to the amount that you are looking for as an investment or a seed capital. And I would say also with the TTF as well, we do offer, however, we don't have it available throughout the year. So it would be important then to, like Julian was saying, to do that assessment so that we can see if we will immediately be able to facilitate access to funding, because we do work with sister agencies that readily have the funds available throughout the year.
Yeah. Great, thanks for that. Benjamin is in the room and he indicated that his business is referring others, so we'll just ask him to maybe comment as well. But while you talk about that, Mersha, maybe if you can just outline for business owners in the room that are interested to make use not only for funding but for other services of SEDA too. You say there's a assessment. How does that work?
Okay, so basically they would visit their nearest SEDA branch. So there, the process would normally start with them getting at our reception, getting information on how the process works, so that they're adopted basically as a SEDA client. So that normally starts with the information officer conducting a briefing session. From then on, they will then allocate the clients according to the level or the stage at which they are of the business to the various business advisors that are available within the branch. And from then on, initial discussions with the advisor will then, sort of inform what's the next step to take with the client. If we are still at the stage of research, finding information, that is the initial support that we would provide to the client, as they gather information. And if they are, at a stage where they're funding ready, I think during the assessment, we would then immediately, identify interventions that are relevant for us to kickstart that process.
Great. But it starts with a visit to the branch. And
That is correct.
how do I know where's my branch that I must go to?
Julian, maybe you want to take
Yes,
that?
yes. Now, within every district in the country at the moment, there is a SEDA branch. So look at the district where you are based and try and find out where the local SEDA, but alternatively on our website, there is a list of all the SEDA branch nationally listed there. But just to add as well, sorry, Christoph, in terms of what Marcia said with regard to the assessment, we have two major assessments that we use to actually diagnose our client so that we are able to determine what intervention is relevant. It's assessment of company operation, which cover holistically what the business does. We are able to go into details and really determine what is it that the business has challenged with. Most of the time we get businesses that they think they need marketing or they think they need funding, but after conducting or doing the assessment, you realize and you're able to discuss with them and say, but based on 1, 2, 3, your business actually needs this. Because I'm just going to elaborate just for a second with regard to that as well. You'd find that they assume that you need marketing, but when you go and you market your business, whereas your business itself, it's not yet ready in terms of the resources to cater for those people that you're going to market to. So it's important for us to fully diagnose the business and check what is it that the business needs prior to anything else.
Right. So, Ben, I hope you don't mind sharing with us your insights, as you have indicated that this is an area that you're focusing on. You can unmute to speak.
Yes, good morning, everybody. I've been listening to what both ladies have been saying this morning, and I concur completely. But the most important element, if funding is required, is that the applicant has an amount of at least between 10 and 30% of the funding amount they require available to contribute themselves. That's paramount. The other very important element that the funders, I'm referring now specifically to the commercial banks, is that you have a clean credit score and you can FICA all your details. That's paramount. If we don't get that done, we can't take it to the next step. It's very easy to prepare forecasts and present those, but the most important is to understand that there is a solid business plan, there is a solid strategy planning as part of that business plan, there for the assessor to read, and that the financials make sense with not only an income statement and a balance sheet, but also, and very importantly, a cash flow to reflect that the loan sum that's required can be repaid during the term of the loan. I think those are the most important elements I would like to add.
No, thank you very much. Been very important points that you raise. Perhaps the most important is that you need to be well prepared, and starting out with understanding what it is that a specific financier that you approach is looking for. So yeah, so SEDA is perhaps one of the places you can start, but there are many others, and there are people I've been around that can support too. So I hope that gives you Wabisa some guidance in terms of approach, starting off with SEDA and its sister body CFA that has got products for small businesses. But then the commercial banks are, especially if you've got contracts going, so contract finance, I've gathered from financiers recently, is gaining lots of momentum, so that you don't need to have that 10 to 30%, but your contract actually provides the financier with the security that they need to have in terms of what they can support you with. But each financier is different, so to do the homework is really important. Okay, shall we move on? Marcia, is there a specific question that your eye fell on that you would like to focus on? Or Julian, you too? Or shall we go for the next one on the list?
Yes, I think let's go to the next one. But I was looking at the one from Nkosana and Daba. Hi, Nkosana. You've asked there on the Q&A, what kind of training do you offer SMMEs? Now, we've tailor-made our training.
So before you, let's hear a bit more from a. I'll allow you to speak. Which Nkosana is it? Ndaba.
Yes.
I'll allow Nkosana to talk so she can explain a bit more what kind of training it is that you're looking for, Nkosana. You can unmute and speak. Nkosana, are you with us? Okay, let's see if we can unmute you. Otherwise, we must assume what training you need, and maybe we're wrong. So if you can unmute and speak, otherwise we will just talk in general about training. If there's anyone else in the room that wants to speak about training, you can raise your hand and we'll see it arrive. Then we can bring you in to speak about it. But sorry, Julian, for interrupting you. So maybe you can proceed so long. If there's anyone else that wants to speak about specific training needs, you can raise your hand and we'll bring you in. Otherwise, Nkosana, you can unmute if you can hear us.
Yes, I think it would be nice to hear from Nkosana in terms of the broader understanding of what he means when he says what kind of training, if maybe there's a specific one that he wanted to find about. So perhaps we can give him a few seconds and move to the next one.
Okay. It looks like Nkosana is not able to unmute. So let's just talk about training. What kind of training you were delving into it already, Julian, when I interrupted you. And yes, someone else. Sibongile says Sibongile's got specific training needs. So Sibongile, you can speak.
Good. Is it afternoon or morning? Can you hear me?
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Then the morning is over.
Yeah. I was asking about the training skills in terms of let me say because I'm doing construction. I do tar surfacing and renovation, but now I would love to venture into plumbing, those kind of stuff. I wonder if ever SEDA does it offer such training, like skills in terms of skills training, things that I can have a certificate for and even add value to my company as a SMME.
Is that specifically, Sibongile, is that specifically in the construction industry that you want construction industry hard skills? Is that what you say?
Yes, I'm asking if ever that do they.
What example? Give us an example of training that you would want.
Let's say, let me do an example of a plumber. How does a plumber maybe undrain or unblock, those technical stuff?
Yeah. So you've got staff, you've got people that you have working for you or with you, and you reckon, but the quality of their work can be increased by giving them technical training.
yeah, those kind of stuff. So that also I went to school for what I'm doing, but now there's things that I do not know if they are done correct, or even, yeah, those kind of stuff. We just wanna, when you supervise them or when they are done with their work, let me know when everything is right, done professionally.
No, thank you. A very important
Yeah.
question, Sibongile. Thank you for that.
Thank
So,
you.
who wants to tackle that one? By the way, anyone in the room can also comment if you know of technical training in the construction industry, people providing that, or if Sibongile can go somewhere, you can also type in the text chat. She will note that too. But let's hear from our advisors first.
Hi, Sibongile. And I see you went into an industry that's predominantly male dominated. So again, congratulations for that. Sibongile, for technical training, I'd advise, I'm not sure if you're familiar with SEDA, which offers your technical training. However, what we do as well every now and then as SEDA is we can contact them depending on the number of clients that we've got to actually come on board and assist with specific technical training. So I'm not sure which district you're from. I would advise you to just visit the nearest SEDA office and ask to speak to a business advisor that can guide you in terms of which direction to take.
Good. Anyone in the room that's got advice on construction training?
I think maybe just also to add, but perhaps maybe after going to, their nearest SEDA office and engaging with a business advisor, perhaps it can be something that can come up during the discussions to think of, getting a mentor. Because as a business owner, venturing into an industry, you have to work with people, you have to monitor people, you have to quality check their work, all of those kind of aspects. To be able to acclimatize yourself as a business owner to them, it's also very important that you equip yourself with people that are familiar with doing that on a day-to-day and have been doing it for a long time. So an issue of getting an industry mentor is very, very important. And as business advisors, we also do look at matching businesses, business to business linkages, where we will see a benefit of what she is doing, matching with a company that they can perhaps even feed off of each other in terms of, the various skills that they offer. For an example, if she specializes in plumbing, then we've got a company that does construction, specializes in other things, and we know that at some point they would actually need or require services of a professional plumber. We could link both those business owners that they get to learn from each other. So that is also one option, just, to enhance their knowledge of, how to do their day-to-day working with the employees and stuff.
Great, thanks, Marcia. So let's, someone had their hand up on this. It was Debbie. Debbie, would you like to?
Yes, I would. Hi. Been involved in training for many years and also done construction training for ladies on the West Coast. If Sibongile contacts the SEDA, Construction SEDA Educational Training Authority, they would be able to help as well. So I will put my telephone number into the chat and she can give me a call, and then I can give her contact numbers of the people to contact in the SEDA.
Great stuff. Great. So if you can have a round of applause there for Debbie, guys. Do you know how to do reactions? At the bottom and the Zoom bar, you can show your response there, by the way. While people are talking, there's some more claps coming. Debbie, thanks for...
thank you.
And okay. Some hearts too.
Okay. We're all here to help, yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Okay. Marcia, I was wondering, when you speak about mentors and network, I think you spoke about two very important things, I think, for everyone in the room, doesn't matter in which industry we are. The one is about connecting with other business owners who are in similar situations to us, maybe peers. They're the same, they're doing the same business and we can learn from each other. And the other was, if you can identify someone that's perhaps has been through the process, a mentor, sort of to guide you, sort of. So perhaps in the group we can also, or if there's someone that's done that in the room, you can raise your hand and we can hear from you how you go about in connecting with others, other peers, other business owners that have similar situations to you, or how do you go about in finding someone and getting the agreement of someone that is experienced in the industry that you're in. It's not a coach that can help you to talk through stuff. It's someone that knows the industry, that you can learn from about the industry that you're in. Anyone in the room that wants to raise their hand on that front? But let's hear from Marcia and Julian first. If there's something to add there in that regard, what you found with the business owners that you works better in connecting with other entrepreneurs or connecting with a potential mentor. Anyone can raise their hand too, or type in the text chat if you want to participate in getting some advice there on how we connect with others, mentors or peers. So Marcia, do you want to continue? You start to talk about that, how you match mentors. So maybe just to expand a bit on that, if you may.
Yeah, we find with us, the site, we do that quite a lot. I mentioned that we work with, your forestry sector. So you find that we still have people that are studying as, ESG clients for, I'll make an example, maybe your SEPI. And you find that I've been working with, a high-end client who has had, many contracts with SEPI doing the same thing. And they are able to, now and again, maybe provide, time or make time available to provide information during maybe our briefing sessions. So we are able to organize, your mini sessions where we would sort of collect or gather people that are in the similar industry and come just for information sharing purposes. So SEDA branches are able to facilitate such. Secondly, social media. We live in a social media age. So it's a very important platform that one can take advantage of just to interact and network with similar, people that are in the similar industry.
Julian, do you want to put a
Yes.
mark behind,
Yes.
or do you want to add something?
Yes, just to add as to what my colleague Marcia has said as well. Also very important to know that at SEDA, we've got sector-specific incubation. So there is a construction incubation that's currently active at the moment. So it would be beneficial as well for her to align herself with incubations that are within the similar industry. That as on its own as well would expose her to even further opportunities around that industry. So yeah.
Okay, great. So by the way, you would have seen that no one's raised their hand to add to that from the group. So maybe we can step off peer support and mentorship for now. You may have noticed, everyone in the room, that in the Q&A chat, there's some of the questions that are being answered by text, so our colleagues from SEDA and IBASA and EPI have been adding, those that are not talking have been adding some comments. We can come back to those too. But I can ask Julian and Marcia, if you can select a question that you want to focus on next, and then we can bring that person in, whether it's one that's already answered in text chat or not, doesn't matter. We still have two questions that have not been addressed at all, from Tsitsi and Pamela, so maybe we can tackle those first, but they're also in the answered ones that Bongi and them have been typing in that we may address if you wish. So who wants to go first? Let's go to Julian this time. Do you want to select one of them?
Yes, I was just looking through. I think we still haven't touched on the one of training for Nkosana. Is it Nkosana? Yes. I'm not sure if he's back now. so that we can sort of expand a bit on the issue of training and what training do we offer at SEDA.
Okay, let's see if Nkosana is now totally left. It looks like we lost Nkosana now. So, but you can maybe if you want to talk about a bit about the training options that SEDA has, then that's available. So we heard about the construction industry and the SETA, construction SETA and so on to approach them. But there also may also be opportunities within SEDA, you know, and what SEDA is offering for business owners to benefit from.
Yes, as business advisors as well, we often facilitate our own training as well, depending on what's the outcome after an assessment of a specific client. So what we then do is we've got your SEDA talk. This is clients that are still at a very idea stage or still wondering which direction they want to take in terms of running their business. With those ones, we start with your startup trainings or basic business skills training, just so that we can expand their skills around compliance and how to develop a business plan and so on. And as the businesses grow older or they are a bit mature, we look at your more advanced training, whether it be your marketing training or any other business related training from your financial, your costing, and so on.
Okay, great. Taka also shared with us in terms of Sibongile's questions still, so more specific on the construction industry, that there's the Institute of Plumbing South Africa. So there's a link to click and training, hopefully that is appropriate. Okay, Marcia, something that you would like to address from the questions coming up? There's some more coming in, so I hope we can address all of them today.
I think we've got one from TAT Mokhatla.
Yes.
He's asking if we do support businesses who offer creative services to underprivileged communities. So what we do there we with
sorry to interrupt. Let's just hear from him if he wants to explain a bit more about what it is that he's asking, so we can address his question specifically. So Chichi, if you can unmute. Chichi, just on the bottom bar of Zoom, there's a little icon at the left that says mute or unmute, or the microphone. Just click that, then you can speak. Looks like Chichi is unable to talk. So let's assume we know what Chichi is asking about the creative services. Marcia, so you've got other people that have asked similar questions, I assume.
Yeah, I was just about to say that we may not necessarily as SEDA offer, specific trainings or workshops that are around the arts and I would say the arts and culture, industry. However, we would link or assist to link if they go to their nearest SEDA branch, obviously, to link them with, the National Arts Council, to link them with the Department of Arts and Culture, because they would have programs that are specific or related more to what they perhaps would want to be doing. Depending, arts, it's quite broad, depending if it's visual arts or contemporary art, whatever, dance, performing arts. So they would have different programs to cater for such people. So we would perhaps maybe just assist with information or around that.
Yep. Great. Thanks, Marcia. I see Martin has also got a point to raise. Martin, you may unmute and speak. Are you in the creative industry yourself?
Okay. No, sorry, you were asking about the construction. It's actually about the manufacturing that I was involved with, that I am involved with, is compacting machines, rollers. As far as that, I just wanted to tell that to you at the moment. It was the rest of the raising of the hand was more a mistake.
Oh, okay. But we heard your voice now.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay. Anyone in the room that's in the creative industries and about, I'm aware of a program, in fact, I'll put it in the text chat just now, of the British Council, where they support creative entrepreneurs to grow their businesses and create more income. They've got an e-learning platform. In fact, they are launching a program at the moment that will start in November, consisting of workshops where they group the creative entrepreneurs together into groups of about 20. And then they use the extensive content that they have available on the e-learning platform as a base for helping those entrepreneurs to create a path, a route for them to follow, a kind of a plan to follow in improving the income of their creative businesses. So I'll put that in the text chat just now for everyone to know. But yeah, each industry is a bit different, you know, sort of. Julian, have you dealt with creative oriented business? We've got a few in the room, by the way, you know, sort of whether it is in the digital design or so on, you know, sort of.
I think we in the Free State, particularly in the Free State, we've had close alliance with the creative industry, whereby the FDC, being the Free State Development Corporation, has actually requested that we assist them in terms of those type of clients that they can support. So if anybody is in there, is from the Free State, I know they've got a program that they're currently running for creative, and they also take them around different trade exhibitions where they can promote their product. So yeah.
Yeah, great. And anyone else that wants to raise their hand quickly before we step off that topic, that wants to add there in terms of creative orientated businesses? So I think what we're learning too is that each industry is slightly different, you know, sort of there may be kind of generic things that we can learn from business in general, but each industry is a bit different. So if there's something specific in your industry, and if we are in an industry together, we may share some learnings that we've had. So before we go to the next question, you can have a race, Marsha and Julian, who wants to be first? Do you have a burning question that you've seen there? Which one?
And for me, it's not really a question. I think it's just to add as well to everybody on the platform. I think with regard to the issue of training, it's really important, obviously, as a business person, to continuously grow your knowledge around your industry so that you are not left wanting when there's certain changes. So I'm going to give an example of additional trainings which we actually focus on as well. For example, for people in the food industry, we've recently done your food safety training, which will go into detail as to the presentation, the different hazards, the different compliance documentation that one would need if they are in that industry. So I concur with what you said, Christoph, that it's important that you really do research of the industry that you're going into and understand what is out there. Use a lot of information sharing sessions where you can grow and learn more about the different sectors. So yeah.
Okay, are we avoiding the question about buying land because it's an area that we're not so familiar with, or can we refer Pamela somewhere? Pamela, maybe we can bring you in to speak about what it is that you are busy doing, and buying of land is a very specific thing. You must unmute to speak, Pamela.
I say good afternoon, guys. Pamela from Cape Town. I'm running a small business selling food at the taxi rank. I started my business as 2016. Now I see my business is growing little bit by little bit because I engage a price site on my site. I've been taking a tour, like I go to Durban, then I see there's a big business actually is on my terrains as well, like Max's Lifestyle. So I've got that that dream, like I can have as well a bigger place like that. But my problem is I don't know which terms I can follow to buy the piece of land. Like I need a piece of land, then it's where then I can build my own structure that I'm looking for to expand my business. So that is why I said I need help from there. Then I don't know which sectors I need to follow, which terms and steps I need to follow.
So you are still looking at finding the land? You don't have a piece of land that you've identified yet.
Yes, I did see some spaces. I'm based in Belleville. I see some spaces there. Then I've been approached. I go to City of Cape Town. I ask. They don't give me a clear position who I can sit down with. When I came there, they always said to me, someone is not there on the office, someone I can speak to. So I don't know whether they need bigger powers than me, or I don't know. That is why if there's someone can give me, if the side of Belleville, they don't see what I see, then maybe someone who knows can refer me where to ask someone else.
So Pamela, you've got a business, the business is growing. Why do you need land?
I need to expand because the place I am, I'm based in the taxi rank. There is some places here nearby me at the taxi rank. They are big. So it's where I think also if I can maybe expand, maybe I can build more space. I can have more space. It's where I will also get more people, and then
okay.
I will also.
But why do you want to buy the land? Can you not rent a existing building or some existing space? Why do you want to buy land?
I think it's for me to own than to rent. I don't know whether
Is it keeping you back? Is it keeping the business back from growing? The fact that you're waiting to buy the land.
Yes. I
Can
hear
you
your
not make
point.
another plan? Can you not make another plan in the meantime? I'm not sure, guys. Marcia and Julian, you can also come in here. Sort of. So, in what way would you? I'm sure you get similar people to Pamela coming over your desk in your office. Sort of having this kind of discussion. What kind of advice do you normally give?
Yes, thanks, Christopher. Hi, Pamela. I'm just a bit
Hello.
worried that because your clientele is already at the taxi rank, and for you now to say you want to grow and move out of the taxi rank, that might dent the growth of your business as well. But even beside that as well, purchasing of a land would require huge capital, which might actually leave a huge cash flow in your negative, being in the negative in the long run. So perhaps look into maybe speaking to the taxi association and finding out if you can get a container, a bigger container that you can place perhaps at the taxi rank where you're currently operating, just on a bigger space. But in terms of the land, in case you still want to know how to go about the issue of the land, though, it's advisable to first identify whether the land belongs to the municipality or if it's privately owned. If it belongs to the municipalities, and unfortunately you'll have to go back to the city of Cape Town and find out about their LED division. That will be able to guide you as to how can you get that piece of land from them, whether through a lease or through purchase.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and just to add with what Julian is saying, in a case where now that piece of land happens to be privately owned, then you would need to now deal with the issue of having to buy it, in your own personal capacity. So there, it would also be helpful maybe just to check with your bank. If you are already a person that's trading formally, you have a business bank account, or you have your own personal bank account, wherein the banker can be able to assess your affordability just to test, because if you are not eligible as a person to sort of be able to buy, that piece of land in your own personal capacity, then it can be a problem in case that land happens to be privately owned.
yeah. Good. I see Dan wants to add something there, and then maybe if each of you, Julian and Marcia, can select another question for us to address and bring that person in. We're going to be out of time soon. We'll hear from Dan just now, and then we must just thank Bongi and the team in the background for actually answering in the text format some of the questions, which we won't be able to discuss here today, but they are answered there. So if you haven't seen, you can actually see the answers in the Q&A that are typed too, if they weren't discussed. So anyone that's in the room that missed that, If you click on the Q&A button at the bottom of your Zoom window bar, you'll see a window opens with the Q&A, and all the questions and answers are there, you know, sort of those that have been typed as well, those that we didn't discuss. So let's quickly hear from Dan, and then we're going to come to Marcia and Julian for each selecting a final question.
Thank you, sir. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, you're perfect.
I think the lady from Western Cape, the best alternative is to apply for TRAP. Instead of buying land, you can apply for TRAP and buy your mobile kitchen, prepare your food from the back from your backyard, serve the people at the restaurant with the fresh food, and you save a lot from rental, from all the hazards, from all these other things. And the TRAP utensils, the TRAP equipment will all be yours, and your business will grow in that way. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Dan. That's the way that we support each other. If we show up here not only to learn, but also to contribute, we can take big strides forward. So, Marcia, shall we come first to you? Which question do you want to focus on? Who do you like to hear from? You muted. Marcia, you muted.
Okay, let me quickly check.
Julian, do you have someone identified?
Yes, I see it's an anonymous attendee, so I'm not sure if anonymous can come forward and
no,
say.
we can't have anonymous talk. But please address the question.
Okay. Anonymous says here, I wanted to ask, under an incubation program, we had a problem of getting stipend. Does SEDA provide stipend for business that are incubated? And the answer is no. Remember, SEDA is the one that's responsible for any stipend that should be given to any incubatee that needs to receive one. But SEDA does not provide a stipend. So, but in the case where they want to find out more about the programs that offer stipend, they need to contact the relevant SEDA, and that would be able to give them an indication and the direction in which they need to take. So SEDA as in SETA.
Great, thank you very much for that. Marcia, before we come to you, there are two hands up, so let's just hear from Nkululeko first. You can talk, just unmute.
How's everyone doing today? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
We can hear you. Thank you. I'm Kulego and I'm a business coach, right? So just wanted to find out, I mean, I've actually run into a big hurdle. I've got a client who had challenges with finances. So I had to assist them in identifying the challenges in finances. So I was able to track.
Oh, we lost you there. So, and you're off the course, so it's internet, maybe it's now also the load shedding, I don't know. We've got Sibongile coming back again, you know, sort of. So, Marcia, if we can just give Sibongile a chance, then we'll come back to you. And then we're going to start to wrap up the discussions here today too. So, Sibongile, if you can unmute.
Hi.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to ask, around Soweto, is there SEDA around Soweto, or it's in Joburg?
Okay, Marcia, so maybe you can ask, answer Sibongile's question there too. And if there's anyone else that you want to hear from, we can bring them in too. Shall I just allow talking for someone else on a question that you saw?
Okay, Sibongile, I think one would need to verify, because I wouldn't necessarily understand the landscape in Johannesburg, how they would normally, you know, do the allocations. I know that if you are in Soweto, there's a branch in Ekurhuleni, and there's a branch also in Braamfontein. So I'm not sure, because I'm based in Nelspruit, which of the two branches perhaps would be most closest to her. But I'm sure if they were to contact any of the Johannesburg branches and inquire that if I'm specifically located in Soweto, which branch services people that are in Soweto?
Yes, just to add on what Marcia said as well, we can also provide the Johannesburg number. I understand there is a co-location currently running in Soweto where a SEDA business advisor does visit that area to assist as well. But Zwangile, we will provide the number in the chat for the Johannesburg office. You do give them a call and just make an appointment and see when will they be around your area, and you can meet up with them.
Great. So there's the phone number for you, Sibongile. You can contact them directly, phone them to find out where to go to. Okay, so we don't have any more hands. So Marcia, you're the last, we actually are half past already, but we promised another one. And then I'm going to ask both of you just to give a final comment in terms of how your experience was today and if there's any kind of tip or advice you want to leave everyone with. Or Marcia, is it okay? Is there no burning question that you still have for us to discuss? If it's okay, then we can move on. Shall we then finalize things? Or is there still another question, Marcia, that you wanted to focus on?
No, I think we've covered most.
Okay, so let's, Marcia, while you speak, what do you take away from our discussion today? And, sort of what kind of advice will you want to leave the attendees here today? We were 78 or something at one point in time in the room, so it's a good number of people. We are just below 70 at the moment.
I think, first of all, it was a good experience, quite very relaxed platform for everybody to ask questions and get, information and valuable insight, not only from SEDA, but even from other participants. So I enjoyed that quite a lot myself. And secondly, I think what we are taking away from this session is that information is quite key. So entrepreneurs must continually, equip themselves with industry knowledge, find, platforms where you can find out key stakeholders that are in your specific industry. And a development process involves, stakeholders, involves various people. So don't be confined in your own space and say, running a business is difficult. SEDA is, the custodian of SMMEs, basically. So it's, if you don't have a place to, start, that's a good place for you as an entrepreneur to start for information and just, that to take that one step forward. So very big thank you to everyone that was able to be brave enough to ask questions, and hopefully with the little information that we were able to provide, it helps you move to the next step. And also to just encourage them to hang in there. We need entrepreneurs, we need companies that can be able to create jobs and sustain the economy. It's hard, we understand it's hard, but equally we are here to provide, the relevant support that they need.
Great, thank you very much. And thank you for your contribution here today in getting things clear. Julian, similar to you, sort of what is your takeaway?
I think my colleague Marcia has said most of this stuff. I think also what's important is for SMMEs to just continue joining such engagement, because it is platforms such as this where they are able to take away a lot that they can implement in their respective business. So I think for me, I'm actually as a business advisor as well, I have also used this opportunity to learn from other industry experts that were here as well. So thank you for such an opportunity, and yeah, looking forward to the next one, definitely.
Yeah, every Friday, first Friday of the month, we're here. We can invite you guys back soon. There are some other business advisors that's also going to be with us, so great to work with two informed and caring women business advisors, because it's an industry guys that are kind of a bit dominated by men in a way, eh? Sort of. So it's great that we have two ladies here today to shape things for us. Just a final reminder, info@bizclinic.co.za. If there's a question that you wanted to ask that you couldn't, or something that's still to be clarified, we can follow up if you send an email to that address. Thank you very much for the great spirit that this meeting took place in this clinic, you know, that we could get from the business advisors, but also from the people attending, really useful information to guide us in taking on the challenges in our businesses. Thanks, EPI, SEDA, and IBASA for hosting this. Just a reminder that you can also join that WhatsApp group. The request was that we share there the reminders. So the purpose of that group is to share reminders. We'll actually switch off the ability for people to post there. I see that some have joined and started posting. Not that it was wrong, because we didn't have the rules set down yet, but the purpose of that channel would be to get a reminder so that you're not overwhelmed by lots of other discussions and people starting to promote their businesses there too. But you can QR code scan that QR that's on screen now, or you can go to bit.ly/BizClinic WhatsApp, and it will take you to the WhatsApp group, which you can join. And I see we already have about 15 or so people today that have joined there. So that's great to see. But in any case, till next first Friday of the month, everyone, stay well, build your businesses, create the value that you can for yourself, for your staff, for your community, for your clients that you serve. And good luck with the interruptions of load shedding. And, you know, sort of, I see some areas are even having water shedding nowadays, you know, sort of, so a lot of challenges for us. But stay on course, and good luck. Cheers, everyone.